In this video, I'm going to just talk about the syllabus. I already know you can read the syllabus. I don't doubt that you can read the syllabus, but I sometimes find it helpful for just someone to be talking about it. So I'm going to get out of our view, your view, and I'm going to go right into the syllabus. Right there. Okay, so let's talk about it. So this document itself, I'm not gonna, if I make any updates, I'll always create a separate document. So this kind of original document, not that I don't want to be all legalistic and say it's our contract between you and me. I know some professors do that. I know some professors too who give quizzes on their syllabi. I know one professor who takes off points if a student asks a question that is answered on the syllabus. Dude, I'm not that rough. The way that I treat a syllabus is that it's useful just so that we kind of more or less are on the same page and that there's no surprises. And that if there are any surprises, at least that it works in your favor, not in your disfavor. So let's just talk about the syllabus here. I give you the ways to contact me. This is actually my personal phone number. So you can text it, you can call it. If you're going to text me, you should probably tell me who you are, because otherwise I'm just going to be like, dude, who this? New phone. You gotta, you can tell me who you are, and that it's our class, EC202. I don't really have any problem putting my phone number here. I don't think you'll misuse it, and if you do misuse it, I'll tell you you're misusing it. But I've often found that it's useful to have, if only because, dude, I have my phone with me almost all the time. I'm not like, I rock like an old phone, like an iPhone SE, so I'm not like super cool and stuff like that. I don't like do Instagram or any social media really at all. But I certainly can text. Dude, even my parents text. So you can text me and say, Shining, I totally forgot about the exam, or I'm having this technical problem with this. And I think of it in this way. You're going to get quite a bit of relief knowing that you have access to my phone number for emergency situations. It's going to lower the stress levels, and as a net result, you're going to learn more if you feel less stressed. Now, for most everything else outside of like emergencies, right? There's not a phone number to call because you want to chit chat. Dude, I don't really need friends. Not that I don't want you to be my friend, but I don't really need friends. I don't have time for friends. This is the number you use when you're having a big problem, and don't worry about whether it's time urgent to me. As long as it feels time urgent to you, you're using it right? Like, if it's going to give you a great deal of relief, knowing that you've got this number and you can text it, then totally text away, right? You could leave a voicemail too, but I suspect I'm much like most of you. I don't really check voicemails. So, text or call. But for most things, emailing me, you should be pretty good. I check the email quite a bit. It's sent to my phone. If I miss an email by any chance, send it again. Send me a text and say, hey, Shining, did you get my email? Give me a day or so to respond. If I don't, totally just email me. Or just email me again or text me. What you should say is that getting in contact with me, you should have no problems doing that. This is obviously an online class. We made it in an asynchronous format, meaning that we don't have any required lecture times. It's a 5-credit class, and that's our CRM number. Now, office hours. I kind of debate back and forth whether to put hours in here or not. I've done it. I give you kind of the Zoom room that we have. But I know different professors do different things. I'm not generally one to just sit in an empty Zoom room for 2 hours a week just to sit there and wait for someone to maybe come in. If you know that you want to, meet with me virtually, just send me an email, send me a text, and we will figure something out. These are times where I'm pretty much guaranteed that I'll be available. So, you could say, hey, Shining, can we meet virtually 2 p.m. on Tuesday? More likely than not, I will say I am totally free. Let's meet in the Zoom room, that kind of thing. Okay, here's the course description. I didn't write it. If I did, it wouldn't be this bad of a sentence. Well, it's 2 sentences, but this second sentence is pretty bad. Here's how I would describe the course. And then we have our learning outcomes, which are always important. I mean, it's not just, it's what I hope that you will have all learned by the end of this class. This is also a UWR course, a University Writing Requirement course. I'm not your writing teacher. I'm not trying to teach you how to write. Rather, this is just a class where, with your writing skill you've developed in a writing class, you'll apply it to our subject matter, macroeconomics. And I'll talk about the analysis project that you'll be doing that's done over stages that kind of reflects this UWR assignment. Here is how I'll be assessing you in this class. There are 3 equally weighted exams, each worth 20%. That's 60% of your total grade. Then you've got your homework assignments. You've got graded homework assignments that's worth 15%. News analysis papers are worth 10. And then you've got an analysis paper, which is significant, and that's 15%. So you add that all up, that should equal 100%. But what it also does show you, too, is that you can't, and I don't know why every semester someone decides to do this. I don't know why. And don't make yourself that person. Someone just decides, I don't want to write the analysis paper. Well, dude, you're now missing 15% of your grade. That's a big thing that you're missing, right? Or I've had people say, I don't want to do homeworks. They're not important. I guess it's your choice, and I'm not gonna be on you about why aren't you doing it. But that is 15% of your grade. And then obviously the exams total 60%. Here's my description of these things. But we'll talk about each of these here. I make separate videos for each of them. Our textbook. We are using the Principles of Macroeconomics book by Case, Fair, and Oster. It's a good book. It's been used for a really long time. It works well digitally. Right? The publisher has a good system set up for doing things. I like it. And then if there's any readings outside of that, which there are a few, I'll be posting those. So you only have to buy access to this book, as well as the homework system that comes with it. I'll be making a separate video that talks about the textbook. As I already said, we'll be using Canvas for pretty much everything. Then we've got the important dates. I don't make these dates. That comes from the registrar's office. Then we've got the classroom policies. It's here. This is, kind of the official language from the university. I'm not really sure what to add to it. I mean, it sounds really harsh, and, it has to be harsh for a reason because this is an official syllabus. But as a classroom policy, I try to be fair. I try to be fair to everyone. And so what that means is that if an issue comes up, something missed, something that, you have a 0 on because it was not done, that would be when you reach out to me, right? And, if you just want to take a 0 and you don't want to reach out to me because you're too embarrassed to, I guess in some sense that's your own issue. I can't help you if you're not willing to approach me. And I'll say it the other way too. I know different professors do different things. I am not the kind of person that's going to be watching your grade assignment by assignment and be like, hey, Carly, I noticed you haven't done the past 3 assignments. What's going on, buddy? That's just not me. There are some professors out there who do that. Good on them. That's their style. My style is generally, you've been in school long enough. You have a good sense of making decisions about what you want to do and what not. And there's enough notifications on Canvas and reminders from me that you're not going to miss something because you simply forgot or didn't know. It's going to be because you didn't manage your time or you just actively chose not to do something. And you could reach out to me, but if you just choose not to do something, we get to the end of the semester and then you realize that the math isn't going to work in your favor, well, then obviously there's not much I can do for you. We got our statement on academic misconduct. Basically, what you do should be your own. I don't know. I'm seeing all this cool stuff on like AI and stuff like that. I'd like to think I would know if you're submitting something using AI. Just do your own work. I know it gets stressful sometimes and you're under a deadline and you think this is the only way you can meet that deadline is by conducting misconduct. I would just caution you to just take a breath, think about what you're doing, and then reassess what the best decision is. It's not likely to be one of acting without, in an unethical manner. You want to have integrity. Then we have our, if you have a disability of some kind or a learning need that needs accommodation, that would be where you reach out to disability services. You can't really reach out to me. You can reach out to me directly, but I'm just going to refer you to them because then that office tells me what to do, how to accommodate you. Then we've got our drop-in withdrawal policy. Again, that's just copied from the registrar's office. I don't control this language. Here's our grading scale. Canvas does a pretty good job of tracking your grades, so there's our grading scale. And they do grade things quite promptly, so you shouldn't have any issues about not knowing what your grade is. Now, let me talk then about the schedule for this class. This is, as a class, we are a 10-week class. I like that in an online class we have some freedom of our own schedule for both of us, right? Me with grading and things like that, but also you for doing the work. And so I try to incorporate that somewhat into this class. So here's what I do. I basically make 3 deadlines in this class. And I lump everything up so that there's a first part of this class, a second part of this class, and a third part of this class. And all the part 1 stuff is due on the part 1 deadline. All the part 2 stuff is due on the part 2 deadline. All the part 3 stuff is due on the part 3 deadline. These are those 3 deadlines. July 19th for part 1, August 9th for part 2, September 8th, which is the last day of class for part 3. It's on you to think about how you want to structure them, right? How you get all that done by those dates, right? And that would mean that you're doing the homework assignment, the news analysis papers, and the exam all by those deadlines for each of the parts. So you can see here, I do put down week 1, week 2, week 3, but this is more for you just to think about how to schedule your time out. I am not making assignments due the week, at the end of the week for week 1 and week 2 and week 3. If you wanted to wait until July 18th to start doing everything, free choice, that's on you. I'm not going to stop you. If you want to do everything the first day, June 26th, and do the entire course, that's on you. I'd hope that those are extremes that neither of you want to do, rather that you kind of, do a little bit each day diligently or every few days diligently to get the stuff done on time. Again, I am not going to be the person that says, hey, Bob, I noticed you haven't logged into Canvas in the past week. What's going on? I'm not going to do that. The only time I have to do it actually is we do have enrollment certification, so I have to certify that you've all participated in the class in the first week. Outside of that, though, it's kind of on you to be on top of everything. So then you'll notice part 1, right? And then you've got week 1, week 2, week 3. I make the exam available in about the middle of week 3, and then it's due in the middle of week 4. And that's also that deadline is middle of week 4. Then we've got part 2. weeks 4, 5, and 6. And then we've got Part 3, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it's if you're great at time management, people really love this class. If you're really bad at time management, sometimes that's what people really dislike about this class. But even as I say right here, time management is an important skill to learn. I'm sure if you're bad at it, it's not the first time you've heard that. And that may be your challenge in this class. But, if you know that that's your only challenge in this class, then send me an email. Let's talk about it, and let's see if we can't figure out something else. But just like all these things, talking to me about it, emailing me about it, is much better than just hoping and thinking it's all going to work out in the end. Because sometimes it will and sometimes it won't. Okay, so I hope that helps you understand the syllabus for this class. Obviously, you read the document if you have more questions or if you have questions about it, send me an email. But this video also kind of supplements what you need to do there. Okay.